Whoa, welcome back to the psych ward, folks. Today's video is going to be all about eyeshadow palettes. I am actually completely surrounded by eyeshadow palettes. They're falling all over me, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about my decision that I just made this week, that I'm going to be going on an eyeshadow no-buy for the remainder of the summer. Instead of buying new palettes, I'm going to spend this summer enjoying the palettes that I still have not used yet. Mostly the palettes that I got last year in like holiday sales, or some of them earlier this year from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, that I still have not gotten around to using, that they've just been sitting around and I need to make sure that I use them. So I have decided that I am for sure going to be making myself use certain palettes by the end of the summer. And then there are other palettes too that I have here that are kind of newer to my collection that I still want to try to make sure I use. The goal is I'm gonna do this no buy thing until maybe like September, like the beginning of autumn and everything. Not that I necessarily need to start buying things again in autumn, but we'll see. So I'm going to do this no buy thing at least until September, and during that time I'm going to make sure that I use as many unused palettes as I can, and if I accomplish getting all of them used at least once, I'm going to consider that a win. But if I don't end up using a couple of the newer ones that I added to my collection by the fall, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'll go over the ones that I for sure want to make sure I use by the end of the summer, and then I'll go over the other newer ones that, if I use them all, that's a major win. But if I don't use them all, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And then I also grabbed a few palettes that are older, or some of them newer, that I have used, but I just want to use them in the summer because either I haven't used them in a while, or maybe they're newer and I just want to get more use out of them, and I think that they're really fitting for the summer season. I don't want this to be too long, so let's just jump into it. I hope that you like my eye look. I'll tell you what it is at the end. But first, let's talk about all of the palettes that I got either last year around Christmas time or earlier this year from like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, because there's a few of them. And these are the palettes that I'm going to make sure I use by the end of the summer. I did post a picture on my Instagram of all of these palettes, except for one. I forgot one. I think there were, 7 in that picture, and so 8 total. That's not a ton of palettes, right? Like, I could do this. This is the one that I forgot. This is the Hershey's Kisses and Glam Light, the Special Dark palette, and it's this cute little monochromatic purple palette. I did use the blue one that I got from Marshalls when I did that evil celebrity makeup. Do you remember that one? Anyway, but I still have not used this one. It's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful palette, but it's a monochromatic purple palette, and it doesn't necessarily inspire me the way that some of my other palettes do. That's probably the only reason that I haven't really reached for it. I have a lot of purple shadows, and this is a 6-pan palette and doesn't necessarily scream my name the way that some of my other ones do, but I am definitely going to use this one by the end of the summer. Sticking with the Glam Light thing, more palettes that I got from Marshalls. This one is the Blue Icy palette, and this gives me such like poolside vibes. Like, look how beautiful this is. This is like staying cool in the summer kind of vibes. I don't think I'm gonna have a hard time feeling inspired to use this one, but yeah, this is one of the ones that I'm gonna make sure I use by the end of the summer. In the same vein, I have another mostly blue palette from Glam Light. This is the Frosted Flakes palette. This also kind of gives me those cool summer vibes, by the pool vibes, but you also get like this fiery, hot vibe from those orange shades up top. So this is another beautiful palette that I'm going to make sure that I use. And isn't it just so lovely? Moving on from Glam Light, this is another one that I got from Marshalls, I think earlier this year, or maybe this was last year, I don't really remember. This is the BH Cosmetics Mimosa palette. This is another one that I don't feel like I'm gonna need to pressure myself to use this summer, because this is summer vibes right here. I remember thinking when I bought this, I think I bought it in like the winter or maybe the autumn. I really don't remember when I bought this, but when I bought it, it was cold outside. And I remember when I bought it, I was like, oh, this is like not great for right now, but this is definitely gonna be a summer palette for me. So summer is here. I'm gonna make sure that I use this one in the very near future. It's beautiful. I can't wait to play with this one. Oh. Now we're gonna move on to Odin's Eye. This palette I got from their like Black Friday sale, and this palette was being discontinued. It's discontinued, you can't get it anymore, but this was, I think, half off because it was discontinued, plus you could stack a code on it. I think I got this for like 60% off or some crazy stuff. So I got this beautiful palette, and I don't know, I haven't used it yet because, I mean, it gives summer vibes for sure, so I can definitely do some fun summery looks with this one. I'm not too worried about that. But I don't know why I haven't felt inspired to use this one. I think maybe because I have so many palettes that kind of give these similar vibes that I kind of think to reach for first. Like I recently finally used that Sigma palette that I got, the Corda Rosa, and it's kind of similar vibes. I need to use that palette some more. We'll talk about that one soon. But I'm gonna use this one this summer for sure. On to the next one from Odin's Eye. This one, it's so crazy because when this one first came out, I was like, that's so freaking beautiful. I need to get that. And then I waited and waited, and I ended up getting it in the Black Friday sale. This is the Sol Mana 2 palette. This is a beautiful palette. This is a beautiful summer palette. Again, like with those blues and then the orange gold tones, like that contrast of like cool by the pool versus like the hot summer sun. I don't know, I just feel like that like orange with blue aesthetic just gives a very summery, fun vibe. Plus there's like these lavender, purple shades in the middle. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't used this one yet. I just have so many palettes, you know, you guys. But I'm gonna make sure that I use this one this summer. Okay, not gonna lie, super ashamed to be admitting this, but I still have not used the Christmas Eve palette from Odin's Eye. This one my husband got me for Christmas because he's wonderful, and it's so beautiful, and so many people have been, you know, lamenting the fact that this palette was so limited edition, and my husband got it for me in the restock, and it's so beautiful, and I just have not used it. It's so funny because I can never remember what the color story is. I always just think blue. I know it's not just blue, but look at this like sage green, those beautiful, like the gold. I think this one down here is a multi-chrome. There's like this lavender. It's a beautiful palette, and I can definitely do fun summery looks with this. Again, with like the blues and like the gold, and I feel like I can definitely make some fun summery looks with this one. Also, I've been wanting to do, do you guys, if you have been around, do you remember when I did the video series where I was using these palettes when they were like newer with other palettes? Like I did this one with the Hella palette, I think. I did this one with the Merry Christmas palette. It was always my intention to do Sea Talk with Christmas Eve, and I still have not done it, and I legit feel like super guilty because I don't even think these are around anymore, and like I love Lauren and I really wanted to do that, but I kept putting it off, and now it's like kind of dumb to do it. I still plan on doing it at some point. I don't know if anyone will care because I'll be doing 2 discontinued palettes, but anyway, I gotta use this one. It's gorgeous. Moving on from Odin's Eye, I do have this cute little Nomad palette. This was like the Christmas palette from Nomad. This one got a lot of flack from people because the shimmers in here are wicked hard pressed, and they are. It's not like a lie. Like, they really are. This is not a palette that you can get anymore, so I don't know how well it would go if I tried to like use it on the channel. Like I was saying, like discontinued palettes is kind of weird to like do videos on. And you know, again, this wasn't a very popular palette either, but I still want to use it, so I'm gonna make sure that I get use out of it this summer, even if I'm just like throwing those shimmers on my lid just by themselves. They're so beautiful. I don't know, I definitely have to play with this one though. This one, the reason I haven't used it is just because I've swatched the shimmers. They're lovely, they're just really hard pressed, but I think the reason I haven't used this one is because the shimmers are hard pressed and Christmas kind of came and went, and I don't know, I just wasn't vibing with this palette's color story anymore, because it does kind of lean very Christmassy. But I'm going to use it this summer. I'm going to make sure I use it this summer. I think that was it for the older palettes. I'm like I said, drowning in palettes here, but I think that was it for the older palettes that I've never used, that I wanted to make sure that I used this summer. Just double checking. Yeah, I think that was it. How many palettes was that? Yeah, so that's 8 palettes. So I'm gonna make sure I use all 8 of those palettes this summer. Okay, so the next segment is just gonna be the newer palettes in my collection that I still have not used yet. I'm gonna blaze through these. These are the ones that if I use them, great. If I don't use them, not the end of the world. This gorgeous quad from Pat McGrath. What's the actual name of this one? This is Blitz Astral Quad Nocturnal Nirvana. Beautiful palette. I could definitely use this summer. This one I don't think I'm gonna even bother trying to use in the summer, because I, first of all, want to give more attention to the older palettes, but also the color story on this one screams fall to me. This, to me, this color story looks like, if you're not from the US, you might not get this. Even if you are from the US, you might not get this. But this, to me, looks like Thanksgiving in the US. I mean, doesn't this look like Thanksgiving? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but this really does look like Thanksgiving to me. Like, the murky green, this purple shade. I don't know what that makes me think of. What is purple that has to do with Thanksgiving? But this brick red, this orange, these earth tones, I just think of Thanksgiving every time I see this palette. Isn't it cute that I have the Star Wars version? I didn't own this palette, so I wasn't pissed that this was just a sticker on an old palette, because I didn't have the palette, so to me it was completely new. And also, I ended up getting this for half off. So this one, my lovely husband bought me because he's amazing and he buys me things. He actually just ordered another one for me in their recent sale for my birthday because he's so sweet. I'm not bragging. I don't want anyone to think that I'm bragging. But this one, oh God, it's so beautiful. This one also feels like autumn to me. It's a little bit almost even Christmassy with these 2 shades. Actually, all 4 of the sparkly shades. I was gonna say these 2 and this one, but this one as well. It's a beautiful palette. I'll probably end up using this before the end of the summer just because I'm so excited about it and I think it's so beautiful. But yeah, I haven't used this one yet either. I also got this Quint for half off from Pat McGrath. This is the Sith Seduction. Oh, did I say the name of Bronze Seduction? Did I say the name of Midnight Sun? I've just decided to stop saying names. This one is Midnight Sun, and this one is Bronze Seduction, in case you didn't know. But this is Sith Seduction, and it's just this cute little quint. Beautiful. I'm sure I'll play with it soon, but no pressure. This is another one that's brand spanking new to my collection. I got it at Marshalls. I just talked about this recently, but I saw this in Marshalls, saw this shade here, and I was like, there's no way I'm not getting this. So this, I'll probably use this summer. This is a very summery palette. So, you know what though? You could also make it a Christmas palette. This one is quite versatile. I really like this one. So you'll be seeing this one soon, I'm sure. I also have both of these from ColourPop. Oh, by the way, I do still have some palettes coming from ColourPop that I bought before I made the decision that I wasn't gonna buy more palettes this summer. I have my reasons for why I bought those ones, and I'll talk about them when they get here. But these ones I got for May the 4th. This is the, I think it's just called C3PO. And I got this palette because, like, I'm not the biggest C3PO fan or anything like that. But I just thought that this color story was so pretty. I love these golds. I'm so into gold recently. So this is one that I'm excited to use. I might actually do a makeup and chill video with this. I haven't done a makeup and chill in a long time. This one, honest to God, I just bought it because I love Star Wars. And I part of me doesn't even want to touch this one. I just want it to stay pristine because I love that. I love the artwork. I love the way that this all looks. This one might not get used for a while just because I like it as it is. But yeah, I haven't used that one yet. This is the Flare palette from It's Belle Cosmetics, and look how beautiful it is. Like, I gotta use this one. I gotta use this one. It's so, look at, I'm the most excited about that one, but also that one. And that one. I gotta use this palette. It's so beautiful. I also have to use these loose pigments that I got from It's Belle. I got the Cosmic Era stuff. Like, I know I used some of these Fruity Realm ones, but I also got the Cosmic Era loose pigments. I have to use those. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think I'm done showing you palettes that I haven't used yet, because I was a good boy and I used pretty much everything else. Yeah, everything else around me right now is palettes that I've used at least once. So now we're into segment 3, and I'm going to be telling you about palettes that I just want to use a little more this summer, if I can. Again, not going to stress too much about it. Let's start with this one. This one is actually what I have in my eyes today. This is the Empowered palette from Huda Beauty. I guess I'll just tell you what I have on. I use this beautiful shade Confident in the outer corner. I did take Big Dreams in the crease a little bit further in. Gosh, what else did I use? I know I used Bold Moves on the inner corner. I used this Courageous shimmer on the outer part of the lid. I ended up, let me just show you, using a shade from Resurgence, which is the Unearthly and Heather Austin collab. I used Jewel on my lid, kind of in here. I ended up topping it though with the gold shade in Empowered, Limitless, and it kind of ate it a little. I don't know, how much can you really see that other shade between like the inner corner shade and the gold shade kind of covering it? I don't know, but it is there. I used this shade, the kind of gel shade, to do this liner situation. I think I took this one, Rebel, under my eye, and a tiny little bit of Big Dreams on the outer part. I think that's it though. So that was the look. I want to use the cool tones in this one a little bit more. I've used the warm tones a couple of times. I did use the cool tones in today's look, but I want to get just a couple more uses out of this before I kind of like move on. Same thing with the Heather Austin and Unearthly collab palette Resurgence. I've used now that I used this shade Jewel, I've used just over half of the palette. So the shades I still haven't used are these top 3 and these 2. So I'll be doing a look with those soon. Maybe not all of them, but I want to at least use every shade in this palette before I kind of like move on. Another new palette to my collection that I want to use at least once, one more time over the summer, is the Yucca palette from Natasha Denona. I've used this one a few times on the channel, and so, you know, maybe I won't necessarily do a look with this on the channel, but I just want to play with it at least once more before the end of the summer, because it's a very summery palette. And I feel the same way about this next one here. I'm so disorganized, but this is the gold palette. This is another one. I'm in love with this palette. I didn't expect to be so in love with this palette, but I'm in love with this palette. This palette to me feels very summery. Look how beautiful this palette is. Shut the hell up. It's so gorgeous. So I want to use this one I want to use this one maybe a few more times before the end of the summer. It's also an expensive palette, so I need to make sure I'm getting good use out of it. And yeah, I love this one, and I want to use it. Is it weird that I'm considering making October be like my month of Natasha Denona? I just feel like October is going to be my month of Natasha Denona. I think we're going to do a lot of videos with Natasha Denona palettes. But before the end of the summer, before the autumn, I want to get use out of this beautiful palette that I just got. What was that? The end of last year, right? This came out. Such a beautiful palette, and I feel like I can do some fun summery looks with it. Like, it kind of gives wintry or like spring vibes, but I feel like I can still pull off a cute look with this for summer. So I do want to try to use this one again. Also, I love this palette and I've been wanting to use it since I last used it. I've been wanting to use it again, and I just haven't really had the opportunity because I have so many other things that I need to play with. This one, I grabbed this one because I feel the same way about this one. Like, I also have been wanting to play with it again since I first got it. And I think I'm going to use this one in the autumn a lot, so I'm not going to like rush to use this, but I just thought I would show it to you. I also grabbed my Lila palette because this is another one that I just got that I feel like I need to use more, but I have plans to use this one in the autumn, but I thought I would just show it to you. Isn't it beautiful? Another expensive palette that I need to get more use out of, but we're going to do the witchy vibes in autumn with this one. You guys, I think I'm going to do like a month of Natasha Denona in October. I'm just going to start grabbing things. This is another palette that I need to use more. I used it a couple of times, you know, like I did a look with just this palette, and then I did 2 looks, I think, using this one and the Planet Spirit palette, and I just need to use this more because it's incredibly gorgeous. Do you see how beautiful this is? Oh, there's another Natasha Denona palette here that I forgot I needed to talk about. This is the mini pastel palette. This one, I don't know why I got this one. I'm not the biggest fan of any palette that has less than like 8 shades in it. And I don't know, I just thought this one looked fun. I did use it. I used these 2 shades together. This gave me a hard time. I think I might need to try a different base, but this one looked weird on me. And also this shade on the end is another one of those gold green shades that exist in the Yucca palette and the gold palette and the Resurgence palette and several other palettes. I gotta use this thing again. I got this at Marshalls. This is another 5-pan palette. It is beautiful though. I do like this palette. I've just used it like a couple of times, but I gotta use it again. I have to use these. It's been a freaking minute since I got use out of these palettes. I gotta use them. I gotta use this again. I used this in like that jokey video of me doing the evil celebrity makeup, but I gotta use this again and like do it seriously because I was really amazed by how beautiful these shades were. So this is the Glamlight Hershey's Cookies and Cream palette. I gotta use this again because I want to do so many things with this. I actually did use this recently. I didn't film with it though, but I want to do like a purple look. I want to do like a green earthy look. I want to do more pink. I love this palette, and I might use it again this summer. I gotta use these. These are the Bridgerton palettes. I used a few shades in a video not that long ago, but I haven't really done much with them. This is the Corda Rosa. I know I used it recently, but I gotta use it again. I've had it since like early November, and I just finally used it for the first time. It's beautiful. I have to use it again. It's very summery. This is getting so hectic, but I got this one. I pulled this one out because I'm obsessed with this palette, and I did manage to use it just the other day. I used it with this one, and I made a beautiful look with it, and I just love this palette so much. It's one of my favorites, and I haven't used it on the channel at all, but this is like a go-to for me when I want to do like a fun neutral look. I love this palette. We're almost done, you guys. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm losing it. Oh, this is another one that I got recently that I need to use again. This is from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the Strawberry Shake palette, right? Strawberry Shake, Strawberry Milkshake palette. Gorgeous. I'll probably use this one again before the end of summer as well because it's very summery. I miss my rose quartz. I want to play with this beautiful, gorgeous eyeshadow palette because it's one of my favorites, and my buddy Nicole just got herself one when these all went on sale for half off, and she wore it to work, and I was like, oh, I love that palette. It's so beautiful. I pulled out this one though because it always annoys me when I look at this palette that I haven't used it again since that first time that I did like 3 looks with this thing and took pictures and put it on Instagram, and I loved every look. I mean, I'm better at doing makeup now than I was back then, so looking back I'm like, those weren't that great. But I did really like the shadows and what you could do with this, and I just have not touched it since then. Like, I need to use this, and I think it's perfect for summer, so hopefully I can make time to use it this summer. I also just wanted to briefly mention this one. This is the new nude. I got this one I think half off from Sephora because they were like getting rid of it. You know, I don't think they sell this one at all anymore. And this is another one that I think will go really nice in the summer, but I think I used this one once, maybe twice. I need to get more use out of this one. Do you like the fact that I'm panicking? I grabbed way too many things to talk about, and now I'm freaking out because I think my phone's gonna run out of memory. But I just wanted to show you, Mothership 1. I used this one a couple of times, but I have to use it more. My husband saw, I was watching somebody use this palette in a video on YouTube, and my husband saw the shade on her eyes and was like, oh my God, put that shade on. That's so beautiful. He loves blue, so I gotta use this. This is gonna be a little bit more of a winter palette for me, but I do wanna use it again before the end of the summer. It's an expensive one, you know, and I wanna do a fun, sultry blue look with it. I think though that is it. Are you exhausted? Did you even enjoy this? I don't know, I thought it would be fun to talk about my palettes. Recently, I have been just living for videos where people just talk about palettes. Like, I don't want to watch anybody put makeup on. I just want to watch you talk about your palettes. Like, that's been my thing lately. So I thought that I would do that today. I hope that you like the look. I didn't want to talk too much about the stuff that's on my face, but I did use the highlighter from the Unearthly and Heather Austin collab. I'm using that lipstick that I got from Marshalls the other day. Haven't died yet from using it. And I don't know. The rest of the stuff on my face is basically just the stuff that I've been using. So there's that. I guess that's it. I hope that you're rooting for me to stay on my no-buy. And if you're trying to spend less money on makeup, I'm rooting for you too. I really am. Let's not give in to the capitalist trap that says that you need to buy everything. I know that I self-medicate my depression with, you know, shop therapy and all that. And then I feel even more sad because I have no money. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed. If you're new here, I post every Sunday and every Wednesday, so pow. Subscribe, check me out. I'll be seeing you guys again on Sunday. I hope that you have a great week. Peace.